How's it going, Jackie? Hey, Ted. We get some people in. We're already up to 5 people. That was quick. Been forever since I've done a live stream. I was supposed to go to work tonight, but we got snow, and it took me a half hour to drive 15 miles. So I called the boss, and he said, yeah, just turn around because we're not going to work anyways. So, figured I'd do a live stream. Since you guys haven't heard from me in a while, I've been super busy, especially this past week. I barely got any sleep. Hey, Preston, did you get your goat feeder figured out? If you can hear The Office in the background, Casey's taking a shower, and she likes to listen to The Office while she's taking a shower. She's got to go to work tomorrow, so she's getting ready to go to bed. I got this stupid thing that keeps popping up on the screen. I don't know what it is. This is the first time I've done a live stream from my tablet, so I got to do things different than it was on my phone. Yeah, I got your email. I don't know if you sent another one. I don't get notifications for some reason for my Back Farms email like I do all my other ones. When an email gets sent to it, it doesn't. I keep hitting the charger with my foot. I don't get the notifications like I do all my other emails, so I've missed some of them. The new tractor. Well, we're just waiting. I got to get some stuff paid off and go from there. I haven't heard. I figured he would have sent me at least a text about the tractor or something that he's found since then, but nothing. Definitely going to get a new tractor this year, though. We're looking to up our straw game, and a new tractor is going to be more than handy for loader work, and that's what I mainly want to get it for a grapple. Whether it's a new tractor or a used one, whatever we can find, but looking at getting the newer one. I'm leaning towards the M5 Kubota. It seems like a good fit. The Massey Ferguson's, I haven't looked at the 4700 series too much yet, but I'll look at them, and it'll come down between Massey and Kubota for sure. The New Hollands, they're all right, but the Kubota's got a bigger cab. And they just changed New Holland, so I'm sure they're going to have problems with those in the size I'm looking in. They took away the T4 series, and they're making it the Power Star series. So there's crossover in the Power Star and the T5, and that's what he recommended for me, was either the Power Star or the T5. T5's a bigger tractor, but they have the same horsepower range in the Power Star option. And as far as case is the same thing as New Holland pretty much, and I don't know, I might look at a case, but I'm probably going to come down between Massey Ferguson and Kubota. No rush to get the goats. I'd like to get back into the goats. I wanted to do kind of like what you're doing, but for me to get a bunch of dairy kids, I have to go up to Wisconsin to get them. Why does that keep popping up and not showing me any comments? That's weird. I'd have to go up to Wisconsin and buy a bunch of them, and then figure out how I'm going to feed them. I can't find a place to buy milk replacer for a goat more than 25 pounds at a time. I'd like to find a 50-pound bag or better, and I can't find none of that. Why does it? Oh, gee whiz. No wonder it kept popping up. Those were comments coming in, but I wasn't showing them. Go with a hydraulic shuttle. Yeah, the M5s come hydraulic shuttle. The Massey Ferguson I was looking at, which is the thumbnail, the one that started me looking at new tractors, which was the 2600 series. They were mechanical, so you got a clutch every time. And the one thing I liked about the Kubota was it was hydraulic shuttle. I get mine weaned at 10 weeks. Is there a lot of goat dairies out your way? See, here in Ohio, there's not many, and to get into the goat dairy, there's only 2 creameries, I think, that buy, and you have to either, they only take so many people, and the people that are doing it don't get out of it. When they die, they just give their farm to somebody else, and they stay in there. So there's no room for any goat dairies in Ohio, so we don't have a bunch of kids around like Wisconsin does. I know out Iowa way, there's a few out there you can find. I look on Craigslist to find them. You can get them about $15 a piece. Yeah, I like the Masseys. Which got me looking at the Masseys was Spring Hollow Hay Farm when he got his 5600 tractor, and because I'm always looking at tractors, whether I'm in the market or not for a tractor. I'm always looking at tractors. I like to keep up with what's going on in the tractor market. So I was looking at those, and they're a little bit big for what I need. And then they came out with a 47 or 4600 series, and they first didn't come out with cabs, and now they got the 4700 series and we need cabs on them. What I don't like about the Massey Ferguson, and it's always the little things that bug me, their third function isn't a true third function. It's the diverter valve style where you push the button and then move the joystick, which it works, but it's kind of an inconvenience if you need to tilt the bucket too. There's the man I was waiting for, Dave. Yeah, see, we got a Kubota dealer and a New Holland dealer there together, just right down the road. But their sales team, they're just jerks. And I went to the Kubota dealer that my grandpa bought his tractor from about 20 miles from here. And he said 50% of his customer base is from over here where I'm at. He actually sold a skid loader within 6 miles of that store. And I told him, I said, well, if you sell me a tractor, you'll be within 6 miles, so you'll have your record beat. How's it going, Kilborn Cattle? Thanks for the sub. I have to check you out. Oh, you have a Kubota baler, don't you, Brian? Or is that what your surprise is going to be? They're going Midwest Analyst, and I forget your name. If you've told me your name, I can't remember. You can make it like the Kubota. How do you go about that? Okay. Good night. He's going to bed. The Massey, they seem to have a better deal as far as financing and stuff, but I don't know. It's going to come down between them two. I can guarantee you that. I'm just looking at this book. And red, I like the color red. Red's a good color to like. But I like orange too. We got that Kubota excavator, and I don't got a bad word to say about that. Jordan, the stupid thing. My comments doesn't. They don't update. Oh Jesus. same way on the New Holland. It's the same. It doesn't matter. It's just the way they are. It's the same salesman. I think they only have one salesman, and he's the owner. They have 2 dealerships. Oh, I see. I gotta catch up. I'm way behind. Put electronic valve and change the handle. How's it going, Strong Farms? Yeah, pretty much. That's it. I went in there because we bought that excavator from them. Well, my dad and uncle did in 2005, and they didn't order it with a thumb or anything. Just the 2 buckets that we had, and I wanted to get into doing work with it, so I bought a thumb for it. And I went in there to get a price for that, and he just, he didn't want to talk to me or anything. And so I went with some guy out of New Jersey, and got an aftermarket thumb, which I like a lot. And then I was looking at getting a ditching bucket, and he didn't want to talk to me about that either. So I said, to hell with you, and I had an Amish man make me one for 3/4 the price. Small time dealerships are hard to find. Standalone Kubota dealer. Yeah, around here we don't have a standalone Kubota dealer. They're either with Case or New Holland. There might be one, I take that back. I think there's one down by Newark or Zanesville. It's a standalone Kubota dealer. But within 2 hours of me, I don't think we have one. We got 2 that are with New Holland. There's one with Case. I think there's even one with a John Deere dealer. But I think the one down in Zanesville mainly does the construction equipment. And Mahindra dealers, there used to be one paired with a New Holland dealer, but I think they got out of business with each other, and I don't know where another Mahindra dealer is. And I was looking at Coyotes in the 70 horsepower range because I've heard good things about them. It was like the 7350 or something, some number like that. But the Case dealer that's partnered up with them can't get that size of tractor, and I don't know where any other Coyote dealers are. Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of dealers don't want to sell bigger stuff. They just want to sell homeowner stuff. Frackler. I think there's one in Mansfield, too. Frackler. It's coming. Is it the same conversation? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Mahindras. We're going to the farm show this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday down in Louisville, and we're definitely going to be checking out tractors. I'm going to look at tractors, and I want to look at bale accumulator systems. Yeah, Messick seems like a really good dealer. The Kubota dealer that I went to, the New Holland Kubota dealer, they're kind of like Messick's, because Messick's has their fingers and everything. They sell them Avant little bitty wheel loaders that you see over in Europe all the time. They sell Kubota. They sell New Holland. They sell Great Plains, Kinsey. Shoot, there was another one. I can't think of it. I've never called them. I was going to call them about their rebaler, but they don't even sell it anymore, I don't think, that they had in their video forever ago. But I was looking at Messick's for a GPS system. Because they got that Trimble 250 or whatever. Because we're going to get into row cropping this year. They've kind of been trying to keep it a secret, but it's coming out of the bag. It's come out of the bag a couple times, but Dad's buying a farm right down the road from the farm. It's got some trailers on it, and he's buying it to rent the trailers out. And it's got 10 acres of farm ground, so I want to take that over and farm it, and maybe take over the acreage there at the farm, because we rent that out right now. But I want to get a GPS system for spreading fertilizer, and then the local FFA chapter, they do some farming, and I can help them out with that, because they have GPS, but they don't have it set up for tractor. They just got the handhelds, so they do some of my scouting on some of the fields that I go and look at and stuff. What are you doing? Letting the cats out?
Just this one.
Just that one? Is he being crazy?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna walk out as long as the door's open. Hey, Brian. Now, I haven't showed this property yet, just because we don't own it yet, but Dad was using the money from the house I'm buying to buy that. We just had to wait for my loan to go through. Hoping the tractor I get comes with a radio in it. He told me he could get me the M5 111 with less than 1,000 hours with a loader and some of the goodies for what I could buy this 70 horse tractor for, which is a heck of a deal. I would be able to row crop like 25 acres is what it would be. The backfield at the farm is 15, and then it's got about, the other farm would have about 10 acres, and then if I can weasel my way into a couple more acres. And then we got our hunting camp down south that Dad and my uncle do food plots on, and spreading fertilizer down there in little bitty plots. GPS would be handy. I'd like to get something that would be handheld that I could walk around with, and then mount in a tractor, and I could, like, what the school has is a Trimble Juno, and I don't know if it's guidance capable or not. I want to do hay. Thing is, I don't have a lot of time for hay, because I want to put that acreage in hay. I'm going to need some for my cows instead of buying it. I want to get a round baler and do round bales, because it would make it faster for me. But we're looking at upping our straw game, and we're got a lead on a stack wagon, a New Holland stack wagon, so I could still do little squares and do it by myself. No, I still use the 4010. The 4010 can do more than, 110 horsepower tractor today. So the 4010 would still outwork the M5, but it would be a close match for it. really the reason I want to go with get my own tractor is because the 4010 and the 2010 are both my uncle's, and the 2010 has issues, and it really needs replaced. The 4010 doesn't need replaced, but I need a good loader tractor, so I figured if I'm going to spend the money and buy a tractor, I'm going to get one that's going to serve me for a while, that I can grow into, but not necessarily grow out of. That's why I was looking at 70 horse tractors. Yeah, that it's green and about 70 years old. Actually, I don't even know how old it is. I don't know what year it is. It's just got engine issues, and parts are kind of hard for them. The 2010 was John Deere's most hated and loved tractor. You either hated them or you loved them. We can buy straw in the swath around here. The problem is this year you ain't going to be able to find any straw. A lot of guys don't have it out. Because what we do with the straw, for those of you that don't know, is we bale 3,500 bales. Well, we don't bale 3,500 bales. We bale about 1,500 bales a year to replenish the straw. We took over this, what we call the straw project. We rent straw out to the city for a go-kart race that they have once a year in September. We line the track with the straw. It requires about 32 to 3,500 bales. And the FFA chapter used to do all the straw and everything. Well, they wanted to get out of it because they couldn't find any straw to bale. Well, we had connections, and so we decided we were going to take over supplying the straw and trucking the straw around, and the FFA chapter would just line the track with it. So we got 6 semi-trailers with about 500 bales each or so in them, and we put it down in the morning and pick it up at night, all in the same day. Well, the straw is getting older and falling apart, and we baled rye a couple years, the school did, and it's too dusty. And kids these days don't have a work ethic, and if the conditions are not favorable, they won't work. So when you got dusty bales, everybody all of a sudden has an asthma attack, whether they even know what asthma is or not. They just quit working. So we want to replace all the straw that we can, and then we can sell it throughout the winter, as long as we can replace it in the spring to help make some of our money back, because just renting it to the city isn't going to pay us off as fast as we'd like. Well, this year I decided I was going to post 2 trailer loads for sale because it's about expired. The straw is for what we need it for. And I put it online for $1.75 a bale, just because it's less than desirable straw. My phone wouldn't stop ringing off the hook. I spent all last week talking to people, and half the week before. The reason I've been so busy trying to sell straw, well, I had a guy from down by Columbus, which is 2 hours away from me. He wanted as much straw as I could get him in one day. I said, well, I got to go to work tonight. I got 75 bales loaded I was going to take to an auction of good straw, which I was asking $3 a bale for. He said, bring it down. I'll pay you what you want. So I took that down to him, and then I had another 220 bales in my grandpa's barn we loaded up on a gooseneck that I still haven't taken down there because the starter went out on my green truck, and I don't have a replacement for it yet. So, but he told me he would probably take all that I could give him, which is 6 semi-loads. Well, I had another guy who lives about 20 miles from me that I didn't even know existed, but they bale 250,000 little square bales of straw a year and move all that straw. Well, he came to me, he offered me $3 a bale for every bale I had, and I don't even have to touch the semi-trailers. He said, I'll have semis rolling in your driveway to haul them out as soon as you give me the okay. So that got me thinking, well, am I going to be able to replace this straw? So I got talking to the people I buy straw from, and nobody's got weed out. So I can't sell it. Okay, let me catch up on the comments now that I went on a little story. Need an Oliver 1365. Olivers aren't bad tractors. SLC Farms got straw. I might have to get in contact with you. Small squares and rounds. Flax is the answer on that deal. Here's the only downfall I see with us doing small squares is help. Sell me a starter. I don't know Kyle Gearhart. I was thinking some Amish boy. Yeah. See, the problem is, because we deal a lot with the Amish, even the Amish kids don't want to work anymore. That name sounds familiar. Carl Gearhart. That sounds familiar. But we're looking, because see, right now, if we can get, well, of course we need you. But I got enough straw secured this year to replenish what I sold. And next year, our cousins are they're going to put wheat in the ground just for us, about 100 acres, which will give us about 4,500 bales, which is 1,000 bales more than we need. But what I want to do is, me and Dad were talking about it, I want to have 7,000 bales available to where my semi-trailers are full, we do our go-kart race, and then we sell 6 trailer loads of straw out of the trailer, so that way people can either back up to the trailers and take them, or we can deliver them, or whatever we got to do to get rid of the straw over winter. And then we load the semi-trailers up with 3,500 bales that are stacked in a barn, so that way they're ready for the go-kart race the next year. And then that summer we bale up 3,500 more bales, just put it on flatbed trailers and haul it to a barn and unstack it. So that way I have a safety cushion in case I can't get straw the following year. Like this year, I don't think you'll be able to buy any straw. People that have it out say it's not doing the best, and they'll probably have to plow it under. So we're trying to get we're going to try to do some more contracting this year for baling it out of the field and selling it. But right now I got 2 people that'll buy all the straw that I have, and I can't sell it, which is irritating, because we've been trying to sell it for a couple years just to get rid of it and replenish the bad stuff. Because then I'd have to take a combine down there and combine it. Well, my rebaler deal is I can buy big squares pretty cheap, and if I get desperate enough, I'd like to be able to rebale them if I have to. Yeah, there's only winter wheat in our area. We're talking about, because you got to invest money to make money. So we're looking at maybe seeing if we can get a contract with somebody that does wheat out west, you know, a couple states away or whatever, and can supply us with some straw to sell. But we got to have contracts to do that, to sell it, so that way we know we can make our money back. What? What were they?
Old pieces of the floor.
Oh.
Those are keeping exciting.
But, because out there they do spring wheat and stuff like that. But yeah, I would definitely plant some oats this spring. For sure, if you're going to need straw, because like I said, you probably ain't going to be able to find it. I'm on my tablet. My phone's in the other room. Kirsten says hi. Tell her I said hi back. In case you didn't know, Wyatt's my brother. Those of you that see him in the chat. Are you going to come up to the farm show, Wyatt? So we're looking at what we want to do this year. You don't need, you're going to sell it. Well, you're not too far from... I drive right through your area when I go down to my hunting camp. If you plant me about 100 acres of oats, I'll come down and bale every bit of it. It'd be nice if I could get somebody like Jeff Raymond or somebody out west, because I think he does some wheat. If he could plant me about 100 acres of wheat, I'd go all the way out to Illinois and bale it. This year is going to be a good year if you're sitting on a bunch of straw. I'll be there all day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Alright, I'll go. I got the thing on my tablet since you sent it through Messenger. But there's a couple guys, and I actually bailed for a guy a few years ago when I was in high school. He bailed as much as he could fit in this barn, and he told me that he had it sold to somebody, and he was actually selling it to these people that contacted me for buying straw. Because what they do, they bale 250,000 little square bales, run 5 square balers. They bale rye, wheat, whatever they can bale, and then they buy from people. So I don't know who they sell it to or what they do with it, but they can move that much a year. And that just baffles my mind. And if I could get on something like that, that'd be nice. And I actually found a guy down by Cincinnati wanting to buy straw for horses. It's got to be good, clean straw. And he's paying $5 a bale year-round for it. And he wants 1,000 bales a year. I rebaled a bale of hay one time, a square bale of hay, big square, half of it, and I got 9 bales out of it. So I'm guessing around 18 bales out of a big bale, but with straw it's different. So I had a big bale of straw that I rebaled once, but I only got like 5 bales out of it as half of it. It was chopped straw, and it didn't go through my baler good. So I'd have to have longer straw, or at least a way to feed it all into a baler, because I was just scattering it out on the ground and rebaling it. But I imagine you can get somewhere close to 18 out of one. And you know, at $3 a bale, that's some good money, because you can buy, depending on who you look at and what, you can get big bales around here for about $30 a bale, up to $50 a bale. Now for hay, I bought big squares of hay one time for $35 a bale, and you can get 18 bales out of that and sell it for $4 a bale, so it was worth that. But I didn't have a rebaler set up. I just picked up a partial bale and fed it to the goats. Who you asking, Dave? Dad would like to get up to where we could move 100,000 little bales a year, but he's asking a lot, and I told him that. I said, I just want to cover what we need to do right now, which we got to have 3,500 bales. We run little bales. We don't do any rounds. And any big squares I deal with, it's whatever I buy. 3x3 by 8 or 3x4 by 8. Oh, they're shoot. You can get them anywhere from 4x4, 4x5, 5x5, and all the way up to, I think, 6x6 or 6x5. They're all different kinds of variations. We'll see you, Strong Farms. God, I can't remember. Did you tell me your name in this last year? I can't remember. I'm bad with names. It's Stan. It's Stan, ain't it? That's what it is. The gleaners, they're sitting in the field. I want to get the one running, because I'd like to plant some beans on the ground I'm getting this year for rebaling, what can I get? I can get any of them, any size, but I only plan on rebaling big squares. Because they're more, I can get big squares easier than I can get rounds. A few large squares, but not many. Yeah, see up here just about everything's large squares. We're starting to see a lot more bale bandits and bale barons running up here too. Round bales are starting to get phased out, just like little squares were, unless you got a bale baron or something along that lines. Not a lot of people do little squares. And actually at auctions, you'll be hard pressed to find little squares at an auction of straw. Now hay's a different story, but straw, yeah, I'll check it out. I was actually at a sale last year. They sold some old John Deere's, and I think they had a 45 EB with a cab on it there. I have to go back and look. It was either a 45 or a 55. Yeah. See, we try to run our bales just a little bit lighter because kids have to pick them up. And, yeah. And that's why we're looking at going out west to bale straw, if it'll pay. Just like One and Only Farmers going down to South Carolina, I'll go out west. But anyways, what we're trying to do is, I want to be able to bale and put bales in a semi-trailer pretty much by myself when we're baling. Now it'll be a little bit challenging because I wouldn't be able to stack it in the semi-trailer without building a ramp with a tractor, and it poses issues that way. But what we're looking at doing for baling is to take and run my new tractor when I get it on the baler, and then run the 4010 on a stacker and dump them right next to a trailer. And instead of having, because we did it with 5 people the one year. We had 2 on a wagon and 3 putting them in a trailer. If I can get rid of the 2 people on a wagon and stick them in a semi-trailer, I can load the semi-trailer way faster and even get rid of a couple guys if I have to. And that'll help save some money there. But we need to figure out something to help get the bales in and out of the trailers easier when we're putting them down in town, to where an accumulator really ain't going to work, a stack wagon ain't going to work. But we need to make it easier on the kids for moving the bales, because it diminishes quick, the help does. In the morning you'll get 40 kids there. 20 of them will work, 20 of them will stand around and bullshit. And in the evening you'll get 20 kids and 10 of them will work. And at nights when you need the help, because everything's up, you're throwing everything up. And it's dusty in the trailers, and that's what kills a lot of kids. They can't breathe. But we came up with we bought some roller conveyor from out of a factory, and 3 guys loaded a semi-trailer. It was me and 2 of my buddies. We loaded a semi-trailer in about an hour, because one guy could load the conveyor with 5 bales, push it down to the front of the trailer, and the 2 guys could stack it while he ran back to the back of the trailer and filled it up again. But what happened this year, back to the kids slacking off, we had like 50 kids in the morning. Got the straw down in record time. At night, 10 kids showed up. 10 kids. 5 of them worked out of the 10. that put a huge strain on us trying to get it up because we got to open up 2 main roads in town. And we normally run 2 semis, and we parked one. We've never had to park a semi before. We parked it, and I had to help load. Dad drove the other truck. Once they got the corners picked up, because we keep a trailer parked at each corner because you use a whole trailer load at a corner. Once we got the corners picked up, I jumped in the other truck, dropped the trailer that we would normally pull, and pulled corner trailers. We've never had to do that before. So it's going to pose an issue. The labor is. Had a guy do it with hay. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I would mainly use one for straw anyways. I go on Small Town Farmer. Just talking hay and straw and new tractors and rebaling, stuff along that lines. We're looking at upping our straw game and trying to do it easier, and talking about how there's probably going to be a shortage of straw this year, at least in my area. See, what we were planning on doing is we were going to sell all our straw this winter and buy it at auction for about $1.50 a bale, because in my area, when they're combining wheat, you can buy straw for $1.50 a bale or less at auction. Well, this year I don't think you're going to be able to do it, and that made us nervous, so we didn't sell any, because we'll probably have to pay more than what we're selling it for to buy it. Out of the field, you can bale it for $1 a bale. That's what we pay when we bale out of the field. This year we might have to pay a little bit more, depending on what the wheat crop looks like, if we can even get it. The one guy that I got that I did my video in last year, baling straw, we're doing that field again this year. Got about 1,100 bales off of it. He said he didn't know if it's going to produce or not, and if it doesn't produce, I'm going to be screwed. And I actually contacted a guy on Facebook selling last year's straw for $2.50 a bale. I want to buy it if he'll get back with me. Yeah, it's bringing $5 and up. I was going to sell all the straw I got for $3 a bale because it's not good straw, not pretty straw, and they were all selling it for $5 a bale. Which, for me to get $3 a bale for straw year round is good money. Like I said, the price drops when they bale it. Normally around here it gets up to $3 a bale, and not too much more in the winter, but there was a shortage. How's it going, JC? We're going to try to keep this live stream going all night because I don't have nothing to do tonight since I'm not at work. Yeah, I sold down in Columbus. I sold 75 bales to a guy at $3 a bale plus $100 delivery. So he's got over $4 a bale in that straw, and he can make money on it. The stuff he was selling looks like it was baled 20 years ago. It looked like pine straw, but it was wheat straw. Dream Tractor is a 1969 JI case, 1070 Black Knight demonstrator. Never seen one of them. But if I could get $3 or $3.50 a bale year round, that's good money for us. And right now it's selling for $5 a bale, and people are looking to buy it for $5 a bale. So if I can buy it for $2.50 or $2 a bale, I'm going to buy all I can get this year and turn around and sell it. Millet straw. I've never seen millet straw. It's not something we do a lot up here as far as millet. We get wheat straw, rye straw, and oat straw, and people are picky about what straw they get, believe it or not. I had 4 or 5 people ask me if it was rotary straw or conventional straw. I said, well, some of it was mowed like hay, treated like hay, so it's got about 6-foot stems. That was the rye. Some of it was run through a rotary combine. Some of it was run through a conventional combine, ran through a chopper. The chopper was set wide open, but it still chops it up. I always draw the short straw. Yeah, that's normally our luck. So we're trying to play it safe this year. We were all excited that we was going to be able to offload straw, and then looked at what the future's going to hold, and it's not looking so hot. So we had to shy back from that. Hay's feed, straw's bedding. Straw doesn't have much, if any, nutritional value, where hay has a lot of nutritional value. Hay's green, straw's gold. Although I have sold some blue straw. Rye, if you don't let it bleach out, stays blue. Got a bunch of feed hay, and then the neighbor combined a bunch to sell. See, one reason we're not doing rye anymore is because you have to treat it like hay, and I don't have time to be babysitting straw when I can bale it right behind a combine ready to go through the baler. This year we were trying to do rye, and it got rained on twice, and it was too much of a strain on me working a full-time job, and my grandpa and dad not being able to help either. Dad works same hours, if not more, than I do, and my grandpa just can't do a lot of stuff by himself. I mean, he can, but he doesn't want to. You know, he's retired. You have to send me some pictures of that millet straw. Because, see, I can use just about anything for the go-kart race. And with the straw market up here, I could probably sell it. Because that guy was telling me he could get $5 a bale out of a half-rotten bale of straw. Because I got some that are half-rotten where a trailer leaked. I'm going to put my email address on my YouTube page so you guys can get a hold of me if you need to. But it's backfarms2012 at Gmail. Well, right now, hay is the same price as straw, if not a little bit cheaper. It's bringing $4 to $5 a bale as well as straw. On a normal year, straw will bring about $3 a bale in demand, and hay will bring about $4 a bale in demand. Now during peak times when it's being baled, straw can bring as little as $1 a bale. Hay will bring $2. Jeff don't sell straw. Yeah, see, that's the problem we're running into around here, Jeff, is people need the organic matter. My cousins, they used to sell straw, and they quit doing it, and they're just going to reconsider doing it just for us on 80 acres because they found the organic matter is better than what they'll make off the straw. Well, Dad was looking out in the Dakotas in Montana. I said, you know, that might be a little far, but if it pays, I'm crazy enough to do it. You just got to have all your ducks in a row and all that. You said you were out in Kansas. He mentioned Kansas because I was looking out in Illinois and Indiana and Iowa. I know they got some bigger fields out there. But then that raises the issue of transporting it, which me and him talked about. Because if I can get in with a couple people that move a lot of straw, need a lot of straw, then it would probably be worth it. Oh yeah, organic matter helps a lot. Around here we're all sand, so there's nothing to hold nutrients and stuff in. So we're trying to make topsoil. It helps with compaction. It keeps your soil fluffy. In town, my garden had no organic matter in it. It was all clay. I put straw down in it, some old straw I had, and it helped it a lot just in 1 year. Helped loosen it up. That and winter wheat doesn't make a lot of money either. There used to be a guy that did a lot of wheat, and he said it don't make no money. He's got to get 100 bushel to the acre or better to make any money on it. Yeah, see, up where I'm at in Ohio, we had the Black Swamp. Up here, all the sports teams and stuff have Black Swamp in their name or something like that, where it was really good dirt and swampy. But I got, where we're at, we were right on the edge of the lake, and it's a beach ridge. And actually, the roads here, if you look out across towards the south, you can see the roads are up higher than everything else, and it kind of slopes back and then comes up to where the next road is. That's where the lake receded over the years. And we got a lot of cemeteries because sand's easy to dig. Yeah. Quality hay is good money anywhere. Especially in small squares. Because you can't get the labor force to make the small squares like you used to. That's why everybody's switching to the big bales. $14.20 IH. There was a guy that used to farm our ground. Had a $14.20. He sold it and got a little Gleaner K because he didn't have enough ground to pay for the $14.20. And weight 200 pounds an acre. Huh. We haven't planted, the school hasn't planted any wheat for a while, so I can't even remember what they planted it at. And I know last time they did wheat, I think it was like $4 a bushel. But most of the time, if people are planting wheat around here, it's because they need the straw, and that's it. So you don't get a lot of people planting extra to sell, which sucks if you need it. And we gotta have 3,500 bales of straw. It's not like where most people are baling it and selling it till they're sold out and they're alright. I gotta have it. I can't sell out and not have it or I'll be in trouble. Every small bale we make now comes out of a rebaler. It would be on flat ground. No, that's this coming week, CE. It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. See, there's a guy, we were talking to my cousins, and he was telling us there's a guy down around Columbus or Chillicothe or one of the big towns in Ohio that starts with a C. He's buying as many big square bales as he can get. He's traveling all over the state, all over other states to get big square bales of straw. He's running his rebaler 24/7, making 1.2 million little bales a week of straw. It actually, his rebaler broke down and he had to buy another one. We use straw and put a cover. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe that he's making that many a week. But like I said, the people right down the road from me bale 250,000 a year and sell it. That's a lot, I think. I don't know where they sell it to. I know he said they do a little bit with construction companies and stuff, which, landscapers and stuff. We have people come in. They use big squares at our company, the people they hire, but they come in and blow it down on seeded ground and stuff. Yeah, see, to me, a bunch of straw is like 10,000 bales. We do 3,500 now, and I think 10,000 is a bunch. Dad he said, we need to do like 100,000 a year. That would that would start making it worthwhile. I said I'd be happy to do 10,000, so that way I could sell, you know, some and still have that cushion for the 3,500 I have to have. Because I can't be without that 3,500. See, the town, they make like 20 grand off this go-kart race. They have a 3-day fair. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's the go-kart race. That weekend they make like 20 grand, but the biggest money makers at go-kart race, people come in from all over. We had some guy from, I think it's Montana, came out with this stupid little go-kart to run around our little stupid track. And, you know, if we didn't have the straw, they'd probably sue us for what they lost. And it's just easier to have the straw. And I was telling Dad, you know, if I can get big squares cheap this year, I want to rebale them. So that way, if we can't replenish what we have, we're going to have to rebale. And Dave wanted to talk to me about rebalers because I have been thinking about making my own, kind of like Gerald Farms is. But with me doing big squares, I really wouldn't need because we're Jackie's using a round baler to unroll it. I wouldn't have to unroll a big square. So I was looking at using an old PTO powered manure spreader or a forage wagon because they've already got the aprons in them and beaters to shred it up. But like Dave said, there would be issues with it, and that Farming for Fun and Profit said he didn't think that a forage wagon would shred it up fast enough to feed a baler. Yeah, they're getting bigger tractors. People are realizing they can't handle them round bales with their little bitty 25 horse BX tractor with a backhoe on it. Yeah, I figured they probably would. But with straw, it's going to be chopped up more than hay. I don't know if it would wrap as bad, or if you'd cut cut every other tooth out. Because the one rebaler setup I looked at seemed like it had basically forage wagon beaters in it. They go in Great Grandma's greenhouse. And Brad, how's it going, Brad? I read your comment, but I didn't read your name. Stupid thing. I gotta scroll up every time. It's irritating. Did it, other than it wrapping, did it feed all right? As far enough to keep up, where the baler would keep up with it? Because most of the square baled straw that I'd probably be getting will be chopped up. It won't be as long, a foot piece at the most. Was that round bales you tried? Yeah, you're saying to cover round bales and square bales? Both. Have done round and large square. I think I watched your video, Brian, but I I can't remember because I've been watching so many straw videos this past week as far as accumulating and rebaling and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. See, the one square bales I bought the one year, they were ran through a combine chopper and through the baler had a chopper on it. And I tell you what, you pop them strings and it just poof was gone. And I tried to rebale that, and I was rebaling it on the ground, and I could only pick up about half of it. Or if I was feeding it right into a baler, it would just shoot right in there. Yeah, they're nice for bedding. See, the problem is what I'm bedding with now is some old rye straw, and the rye straw you mow it like hay. Well, it's 5 foot tall. You mow it like hay, it ain't getting chopped up. So when you go in there with a pitchfork to clean it out, you're picking up a slab that big around because of the straw. I mean, it's nice if you're cleaning it out with a tractor, but if you're cleaning it out by hand, it blows. And I got a straw chopper I could run it through, but it's too dusty. I don't want to run it through there because I can't. The cows aren't smart enough to go outside. It's blowing snow and everything. But even on the nice days, they want to stay in the barn and mess up the barn. Yeah, and a lot of people pay stupid amounts. They'll pay $8 a bale for a decoration. Then you buy the little stupid bales that are $8 for the little dinky ones. I'd like to make those. Yeah, a little skid steer would be nice, but they're so expensive. And if I'm going to spend that kind of money on something to clean my barn, I'll get a little compact tractor with a PTO on it so I can use it for other things. What's those tiny bales like that for rabbits? See, I tried to make little bales of hay like that one time to sell for rabbits. We got them old chimney blocks and ceramic blocks that are hollow in the middle. They're like 1.5 feet long. What I did, I ran strings through there and put a piece of plywood on the backside, and I'd pack it in there with a little sledgehammer and then tie it all up, but it got tiresome after a while. But to go back to the skid steer thing, when I was first looking at tractors, I was looking at the size tractor that I could fit into that little barn to clean it out. And then I was thinking, I'm limiting myself to that barn, and I'm not going to have livestock in that barn forever. I'll eventually have a bigger barn. And the tractors I was looking at was pushing that limit anyways of fitting in there. So, I figured I'll just clean it out by hand if I have to. Yeah. Yeah, New Holland, they had one that was easy to convert. I don't remember the model number of it. But I don't know what all it would take to convert one, and I'm not that mechanically inclined to do something like that. I can do a lot, but pretty much redesigning a whole square baler to do something else I don't know about. Because then you got to screw with the knotters, and knotters are a pain in the butt themselves, it seems like. And anybody that's got one of them balers, they don't want to tell you what they've done or stuff like that because they've got the market cornered because nobody wants to go through the effort of converting a square baler like me. And it's not like you can go out there and just buy one. Made all kinds of money making tiny square bales. Yeah, see, around me, there's a lot of produce farms that sell pumpkins and stuff like that, but they don't sell them little bales. I could probably get my foot in there and sell a bunch of them if I could make them. Because you figure you could make 18 of them little dinky bales out of a $3 a normal sized square bale of straw. You're making a killing. find me the link. I did find the only little dinky square baler I could find was like one of them old fashioned ones that you see people at the shows have that they're feeding the hay or the straw into by hand that run off of a little bitty hit and miss motor. But that thing was like $4,000. I said, I don't think so. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing, Brad. I actually, where the pasture is out back behind the barn that's got the chicken coop and stuff in it, I used to go back there before we pastured it in with a hedge trimmer when I was younger, and I'd cut it and let it dry, and then I'd stuff it into that brick and tie it up. That's how I first started making hay. I don't know about you guys, but that's how it all started for me, trying to make a little bitty stupid rabbit bales. And then we bought the square baler and went up for there. Let me go grab my phone real quick. I hear it going off. Let's see, what do we got here? Just Casey messaged me there. Got some of that stuff. Let's see. We'll see you, Brian. Was that was your email address you put in here, wasn't it? Yeah. Up here, them little bales, you can buy them at Big Lots for $8 a bale. Super 69. I did that with a when we first bought our International 46 baler. I went and tried it on some straw down the road, and I made them. They were like 2 foot long. They were the cutest little bales I've ever seen. They were the size of a regular, you know, the height and width of a regular square, but they were short. They were cute and adorable. Just looking at Dave's message he sent me. 740 area code. That's down south of me. Number 6, congrats. Seven 704 Charlotte. Oh, I missed that comment. That's where number 6 comes in. Trying to figure out what Brad was going on with number 6. Now it makes sense. I gotta stay up all night because I'm on night shift and we didn't work tonight. We probably won't work tomorrow night, which won't break my heart. Going in for one day this week ain't gonna make me no money. It's just gonna irritate me more than anything. Did you decide what you were going to do with your 450 there? I can't remember your name. And I don't know why I can't remember your name. Small town farmer. Yeah, the roads. See what we're doing. And I wish I could get videos for you guys. I probably could if I asked. But I just haven't. Blake. You know what? I'm going to write these down and I'm going to keep them. Until I remember them. But what we're doing is we're tearing down a bridge over I-75 up in Toledo. And to tear the bridge down, they have to block traffic off for 20 minutes at a time so we can tear the beams down and stuff like that. Because you're not allowed to swing stuff over live traffic. Well, when it gets inclement weather and stuff, you're not supposed to impede traffic, basically. And it started to snow here. We start work at 7:30 at night, and I leave about 6 o'clock. And it started to snow about 5 o'clock, and I was on my way to work. And what I normally travel in 15 minutes took me a half an hour to do. So I called the boss to see what the deal was, because where I'm at we have level like level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1, the roads are getting bad. Level 2, you shouldn't be out on them, but if you have to. Level 3, nobody's allowed on the roads. Well, my county and the county I work in was on a level 1, and I'm just scratching my head like, why are we going to work? We can't work over the traffic anyways. So on my way there, I called him. I said, what's the deal? Are we working? Because it's going to take me forever to get to work. He said, no, they want me to work, but I'm going to call them and tell them I ain't doing it. So that's why I'm not working tonight. Tomorrow we're supposed to have freezing rain. That's never a good situation to work in, so probably have them days off. I worked all last week, but the week before we had off because it was freaking cold. If it's 10 degrees, 10 degrees or lower, they're not allowed to start their equipment because they only care about their equipment. They don't care about us. We had mud last week. It was in the 50s last week. I actually got my semi stuck and my semi trailer stuck, and I got that on video, hopefully. I just gotta go get the camera. They have me running a torch, Dave. I'm not an equipment operator. I'm a laborer, so I don't get to play in the equipment. I actually got yelled at one day by an operator because I've notorious for jumping in equipment and running it because the bosses know that I know how to run it and that I can run it better than some of the operators. Well, they had one operator scheduled to work and he was running late. He had a doctor's appointment or something. So the boss drove the loader over and they were trying to put the broom on it. Well, he was involved with putting the broom on it and he told me to jump up in the cab to hit the button to activate the broom to bleed the pressure off of it. And the operator just happened to be walking up, was screaming at me that he didn't want to see me and no more equipment and all that crap. But it ain't the first time I've been yelled at. They actually, on one of the jobs, kicked the operator out of the skid steer and made me run it because the operator was so bad. He was doing my job and I was doing his job. I need to switch over to the operators, but laborers have better retirement. I can retire when I'm 50 instead of 65 as an operator. But it's interesting. I think you guys would really enjoy watching what I get to do. Like I said, right now we're taking down a bridge, pulling the beams off. So we just got done pulling down the biggest beams, which were 130 foot long, and we pulled them off in one section. You cut them with a lance rod, which a lance rod's basically a magnified torch. It doesn't have any acetylene or propane. It runs strictly on oxygen, and it's a steel tube about that big around filled with magnesium rods, and you can you light it with a torch. You turn the oxygen on full blast, and you can cut through any thickness of steel. Some of that steel we're cutting through is 3 inches thick. It's pretty amazing. Actually, I have a video on my phone, and I'll hold it up to the camera here if it'll turn out, of the one guy at work cutting with the lance rod. Or at least I think I have a video. See, I won't touch a crane. Ain't gonna touch a crane. Yeah, we're union, Brian. Yeah, I won't get into talking about unions, just because that's a touchy subject for some people. I mean, I'm in a union. I don't care for it just because I can't do what I want to do, but it pays good, keeps people honest, I guess. Where is that video? It must have not saved. That's irritating. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I don't. Shoot, it didn't save. That's irritating. Yeah, I'm a union laborer on heavy highway. My old man, he's a union operator. And everybody asked me that knows my own, like, why didn't you get into the operator? Blah, blah, blah. I said, well, the laborers union hall that I'm out of was actually just hiring anybody off the street because they couldn't get anybody to work. And that's how I got in. Which, that's a touchy subject too, because you're supposed to go through apprenticeships and, you know, you don't start off with that great union pay at first. You start off like at burger flipping pay and work your way up. And I just got in. And it made one guy I worked with really mad. He was in the union, he got out, and then he got back in, but he had to go through the apprenticeship, and he was making 40% of what I was, and he was 50 years old, and I'm making more than he is, and that irritated the hell out of him. He told me about it every day. But we're doing some interesting stuff. A lot of it's new to me. I used to do a lot of dirt work, and now I'm in the building part of it, bridges and heavy construction like that, which it's all different. To tear the bridge deck apart, they cut it into 5-foot long sections all the way across the bridge, all whatever the length is. And it had a sidewalk on each side where we drilled holes through the pavement and through the wall on the side, and we hooked 2 cables to it. We'd pull them sections off with the excavator, and then the 2 sections in the road, they were 5 foot by like 20 foot, and they spanned the beams. They have a special bucket that they'll grab it with. It's called a slab bucket. It's basically a regular excavator bucket with the sides cut out of it so it'll grip a slab, and they pluck them out and throw it behind them. But the bridge we're redoing was so bad the loader actually fell through the deck in one spot, pulling when we were hauling the deck sections away. The bridge was supposed to be 12 inches thick, and it has a rebar mat about 4 inches down and 4 inches up. Well, in some spots that top rebar mat was in 2 inches of gravel, so it was only 7 inches thick. Well, the loader found one of them spots and tire sunk through. And then the last job I was on, we built like a 1.2 million gallon sewer tank, which was interesting. You know, 55 feet in the ground, building a big concrete tank. And then we got this big section of 75 to do, replacing all the bridges on it. And it's like a 6-mile section or something they're redoing. It's a lot of neat stuff that I wish I could videotape for you. And when I was at my other company, I was running a lot of equipment that I shouldn't have been. But the boss told me to. I was running 773 haul trucks, those are 50-ton haul trucks. 777s are 100-tonners. Which they had some of them at the quarry we were in, but they weren't ours. Got to run a D8. Got to run, I didn't do anything with the 992, but, oh man, all these comments just came in at once. Okay, let's go. What's with the wrench on? Those are moderators, and all the people that are in here, when I'm done, I'm going to save this live stream and I'm going to go through and you'll all be blue wrenchers. I wonder why my comments didn't come through. Because I was looking, the last comment I had was, I don't miss the unions. And then all of a sudden, like 15 comments just showed up. Foot down. Actually, they had, because we drove pile around that, and they didn't clean the pile off, and a piece of dirt fell and hit one of the carpenters in the back, sent him to the hospital. He's all right, nothing happened, but lost a jackhammer in Choctaw Lake. Huh. I was working on the first job I was with this company. We had a bridge over top of another bridge and then the road below that, so it was like 3 road layers. I was working on the middle bridge, and they were working on the top bridge, and all of a sudden I just see this hammer drill coming down and smack on it. He hit a piece of rebar and it ripped it out of his hands and jumped over the bridge and fell. But let me, I'm pretty sure I got this picture on here. Let me show you guys this. This was on the job where I was running the big heavy equipment. I know it's on here. I just got to remember where it's at. Downloads. Okay. Can you guys see that? That's a brand new Cat 336 excavator, which at the top of the cab is 11.5 foot tall. There's only about a foot of cab sticking out of the water there. We were working in a quarry, and we had to put a pipe in across our haul road because we had to raise our haul roads up above the water, so we were putting in some old stone they had. And here the comments go again. We were putting in a pipe across the haul road, and the guy in the excavator was walking out into the water to clean out where the water was going to roll through. And the quarry told us there was an 8-foot trench there. Well, the water was low enough that he thought he was in the trench, and he wasn't. And he walked off right into it. The thing had 500 hours on it. We were, my keys were actually in it. I started it for him that morning because it was cold while he was running something else. And he got out of it and he swam to the shore where I took the picture from. And we took him up to the little office trailer, and he reached in his pockets all dripping wet and pulls out my keys and hands them to me. I'm like, you know, you could have left them in there until we got it out. I said, you know, that's the least of my worries, the keys. He said, well, I wanted you to have them. I'm like, it's fine, you could have left them in there. He left his lunchbox and everything else in there. No, there wasn't no fish in there. That water was actually cold, and I'm surprised he didn't get hypothermia. I mean, it was frigid. And that excavator, we had it almost pulled out that night. We stayed, what they did, since we had all that equipment there, they brought some guys from the shop with some cables. At first, now, okay, this excavator is sitting, let me draw you a picture. You got a ledge. He walked off that ledge and fell down on this high wall. So your excavator track's sitting right here. You got your counterweight right there. Well, they hooked the cables here and are trying to pull it with a D8 dozer. Okay, if you're pulling against this wall, it ain't going to come out. Well, the idiot from the shop thought it would walk up over that, when your counterweight's only like a foot above that. So they hook onto it with the D8 and break the one cable. So then they try the loader, doing the same thing, and break the other cable. And I told the boss, I said, what you need to do is you need to take, because we had 2 D8s on the job and we had that big loader. I said, take a D8 and not, because they wanted to use them dozers to pull it out. I said, you're going to have to lift it up. I said, take that big loader, drive in there, pick the counterweight up, and use the dozers to keep the excavator in the loader bucket. You know, just keep enough tension. Put them on a V going out so you can drive the loader in the middle. Well, that's what they ended up doing the next day. And he didn't call me in to help because another guy was coming from the shop and supposed to bring a couple mechanics. Well, he didn't end up doing that, so they were short-handed anyways. But that's how they got it out. And then we got a beam trailer, which is just a beam that you can detach the neck from, and we slid it through between the tracks, and they picked it up and hauled it to the shop, put new batteries in it, and right behind the cab there's the big wiring harness for it. Put a new wiring harness in it, and it was back out on the job in 2 weeks. And it was a rental. They rented it from Cat. But the owner of the company came out to help get it out, and he wasn't even mad about it. He's like, you just got me a hell of a deal on that. That's what he told that guy. But that guy was tore up that he put that in there. 500 hours. It's in the water. But it had a bucket in it when it went in the water, because he had everything curled in. When it fell and that wiring harness hit the water, the quick coupler shorted out and the bucket fell off to the side, because they brought a diver down to hook it up, and the diver was like, was there a bucket on it when it went in? We're like, yeah, there was a bucket on it. He said, well, there's not a bucket on it now. We said, it went in the water with a bucket on it because we just got done digging with it. He said, there's no bucket on it. I'm like, there's a bucket in there somewhere. What it did, it fell off and flopped to the side. So we had to wait for the water to settle out because there's no movement in that water. It's not like flowing water. It's just stagnant water. So it was dirty. We had to wait a week over the weekend for it to dry out. Yeah, that guy that put it in the water, he felt bad. I mean, I couldn't imagine how he felt. I worked with him on another job, and he's got a rough way ahead of him. He's an older guy. He's like 70 years old. Okay, he used to work for the coal mines down in southern Ohio. Well, the company he was working for went under and took everybody's retirement like 3 years before he could retire. So now he has to work until he's dead, and I felt so bad for him putting that in the water. They didn't fire him or nothing. I was like, wow. Wow. But that's about the craziest thing we've ever had happen on a job, to put that in the water. This is true. I break stuff all the time. But I'm the only one doing stuff with stuff. I got a couple other names I gotta write down. Jordan is Midwest. And Stan. Strong Farms. I think those are the only ones I couldn't remember earlier. But on that job, when we were running 6 haul trucks. We had a cat mechanic there full time working on stuff. And if I wasn't running the truck, because the boss actually fired a couple of truck drivers because he couldn't stand them, and he put me in the truck. I ran the water truck, the haul truck. I ran the roller for 2 weeks. I got to play in a big grader. I ran it just long enough to figure out how to drive it so I could load it on the truck to haul it out. And that's pretty much what I did with the 992 loader. And for those of you that don't know how big a 992 cat loader is, okay, Cat's biggest loader they make that I know of for sure is a 994. They might have a 996 now. I can't say 100% if they do, but it would be Cat's second or third largest loader. It's massive. Me standing next to the tires, I only come up to the halfway point of the hub. It's absolutely massive. I got to play with one. Then driving a 773 haul truck, fully loaded, legally, with a legal load that they were supposed to haul. They weigh 250,000 pounds, and you're driving them at 40 miles an hour on basically a racetrack. It was pretty awesome. I don't think I have any pictures from that job on here other than the excavator in the water. I don't take too many pictures at work. I'm not one of them guys that play on my phone all the time at work like some of them idiots I work with. Yeah, pretty much. And the guys that ran them were always the oldest guys that could barely get around. I don't have any from... I know for a fact there shouldn't be any on this phone. Yeah, those are massive. The biggest we get around here are 777s. Those are 100-tonners. And Cat just came out with some smaller trucks, some 772s. Cute little truck. We had a couple of them. I was the first one to drive them at the company that I worked for. Before even the Teamsters got to drive them, they were a little upset with me. But it's what the boss wanted done. I did what the boss man said. Them 773s hold 25 gallons of oil in the engine. We had one that would burn a gallon a day, and you guys think, man, a gallon a day? That's like a quart a day. No problem, Ted. Yeah. Well, hopefully you got some calves out there, Brad. You gonna name them all? Put them on Instagram? Sponsor a calf? I've been at this an hour and a half. That's pretty good. My voice is actually starting to get a little hoarse from talking. No. I thought about naming all mine, but, you know, I ain't got time for that. Dave, he knows what I'm supposed to do with mine. Me and him were talking a little bit earlier. He knows what the all-knowing said I had, knows what he said I had to do with mine. Yeah. Oh, but you gotta ask for sponsors. That's what everybody does. I gotta watch what I'm saying, because I don't know who was all watching. I did go and do something crazy that I've never done before. I actually bought some merchandise from a YouTube channel. I enjoy farming, fixing, and fabricating, and when he came out with shirts, I figured I'd buy a shirt and a hat. Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see you, Brad. That's a good name for him. The all-knowing. Yeah, I got the shirt here too. I'm going to do some merchandise eventually one day. But here's his shirt. If you don't watch Farming, Fixing, and Fabricating, go check him out. He's got an awesome channel. They milk 1,500 dairy cows up in New York. They're not allowed to show the dairy because of whoever they sell the milk to won't allow them to show the milking and everything, but he's always working on stuff, and they're doing a lot of silage and manure spreading and stuff like that. I have a weird fascination with dairy farms, so I enjoy it, but he's got a really good channel. His videos are longer, they're like a half hour, but they're a good watch. Right now they're redoing their feed mixer and he's painting it like a Holstein. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I was supposed to get a shirt from him, Dave, for free, and it never showed up. I'm assuming he got my name wrong for the address and it just went to the wrong person because he can't say my name right to save his life. I got 8 likes on this. I can't believe I've got that many. That's crazy. This has got to be the most successful live stream I've had in a while. Definitely one of the longest. And you got some videos I need to put up. Alright, we'll see you, Great Grandma's Greenhouse. Yeah, all the free advice, you know. They say free advice is worth what it is worth what it's worth. There was a saying, and I can't think of it right off the top of my head about free advice. But you get what you pay for. It's like cheap work ain't good and good work ain't cheap. Good advice ain't free and free advice ain't good. I give free advice. Whether it's good or not, you can decide, but anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. We got 6 people watching, but only 2 are commenting, so we'll probably wrap her up and I'll go back to playing Farming Simulator, because that's what I do when I don't have nothing to do at night. Not at the farm, so I can't walk out to the barn and work on stuff. I ain't got nothing to work on at the house, so I just sit there and... You're gonna go to the farm show Wednesday or Friday? We'll be there... I don't know if we'll be there all day Wednesday, because we're leaving at like 2 in the morning on Tuesday. But I'll definitely be there all day Friday and Thursday. But yeah, I think we'll end this one, and catch you guys all later. I'll see if I can get that video up for you tonight, Dave. So oh, there's Casey. We'll see you, Brian. You're supposed to be sleeping, Casey. But alrighty.